What's going on, degenerates? Welcome to the Total Takedown. And I'm running a little bit late on this one. I apologize for you. So I thought, forget it. We'll just do the dang thing live. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe here to the channel if you haven't yet. We're going to break down just a couple of these totals that I like for UFC Seattle. We'll talk overs and unders and see if we can't find an alternate route to making some cash. Do me a favor, hit the links in the description below. Go check out Bet Openly. They sponsor the show, and it means a lot to me if you guys give me some clicks on there. It goes a long way to help your boy out. First fight of the night. Let's go ahead and talk about Modestas Pakus and Rafael Sakara. I like the over 1.5. It's minus 135. And gut tells me Sakara is going to be grappling in this fight, you guys. He trains with Jailton Almeida. He is a BJJ black belt. We have seen him. If you look on his social media, he's drilling a lot of takedowns and wrestling. He got TKO'd in the very first round in his UFC debut. Usually we see a little bit of a change up in structure and style and strategy whenever fighters go through that. He's 34 years old, and he's taking on Modestas Pakus, a guy who doesn't tend to have a whole lot of power and tends to have extended fights. He goes to decision pretty regularly. He picks, he pokes. He doesn't have a lot of power, except if you're running straight first into that right hand. And he doesn't have a ton of killer instinct. So even when he has his opponents hurt, sometimes he'll let them off the hook. So I think both these guys could take a little bit of a cautious approach here, and we get up and over this 1.5. Minus 135 seems like a decently fair price tag to me. The next fight I want to chat with you guys about is Alonzo Manfield and Julius Walker, the juice box. You guys know I like the dog in this one. I'm going to go ahead and say the over 1.5 looks tempting again. It's minus 120. You might be able to get even money or close to pick them here in some spots. Alonzo Manfield, same idea as the last fight we talked about, coming off back-to-back TKO losses. I don't know that he's going to run face first into punches first thing back from those kinds of fights. And with Julius Walker, we have seen the guy take his licks in the first round and then get the grappling going deeper in the fight and take over at that point. I think that he could end up on his back. Alonzo Manfield might even hit a takedown in this fight, but then we're going to get a lot of cage clinching, and as the fight gets extended, then Julius Walker will take over. I kind of like the round 2, round 3 finish, maybe even a decision for Julius Walker. I don't expect this fight to be over in the first 30, 60 seconds the way the last couple fights have gone for Alonzo Manfield. So dangerous fight. Anytime Alonzo's fighting, it could finish early, whether him finishing or getting finished doesn't really matter. It's a little bit of a wild one, but I kind of like this over 1.5 here. Gene Silva and Melsik Bagarian, 2.5 total. Over 2.5 is plus 100 even money in most places. And I like that look here. I think this fight goes the distance. Melsik Bagarian is an incredible striker. He is coming off of a shoulder injury, and he may not have made a full recovery at this point. Both these guys have big, serious power, but they both also respect their opponent's power, and they fight very tactically when they're facing somebody else who can bang. You know, Melsik, he almost finished Drew Dober up a weight class in his last fight, but you've never seen Melsik Bagarian KO'd. So I think we're going to end up having kind of a pick my shots, you go, I go type of striking battle here, which leads me to a decision victory with two guys that don't want to lose, two guys that are very durable, two guys that have never been finished. So I'm looking at over 2.5 for Gene Silva and Melsik Bagarian. The next fight, Rob Font and Gene Matsumoto. That's the one I want to talk to you guys about. I smell violence in this fight, you guys. Rob Font has taken a ton of damage. He's an old man at this point, competing at 38 years old. He's never been knocked out before, but like, it's right around the corner. One of these days, that chin is just, the floor is going to drop out on it. You can't help it. It's going to happen. Gene Matsumoto, he's got big power. He comes out aggressive. He starts fast. The kid can submit people. We've seen the one way that Rob Font has been finished was by submission. He also has a weakness towards the grappling. I think Gene Matsumoto is going to take Rob Font down. We're fighting at a catch weight, so he's going to have a weight, a size, a strength advantage. Conceptually at least. And then if the fight gets extended, Rob Font does have a lot of pop in those hands, and we've seen Gene Matsumoto be on the wrong side of some serious offense. You know, in his last fight, he was going life and death with a guy that nobody's really impressed with at this point, right? So like, when you're getting tagged up and elbowed in the face by a guy like Brad Katona, it's a bit of a problem. Rob Font will not take you lightly in that situation. So I can see an early finish from Gene Matsumoto. I can see a late finish from Gene Matsumoto with the sub. I can see a late finish from Rob Font with the hands. I think there's a lot of ways we see violence in this fight. So rather than playing the 2.5 total, though, I will buy the extra couple minutes here. I'll play fight doesn't go the distance at plus 215. Getting that big of a plus money number on this fight, I think, is very, very interesting. The last fight that I will talk to you guys about, Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong. It is the main event here. I think the over 4.5 is probably the way to look here. These guys are both absolutely built for war. We've seen Song Yadong in a 5-round fight before, and it looked like things were going to go the full 25 minutes when he had his opportunity. Henry Cejudo, no stranger to title fights and going a full 25 minutes. He didn't look great against Merab, but let's face it, nobody has cardio like Merab does. And he still made it the full 15 in that fight, even when he was looking a little bit winded. I expect this fight to be a tactical battle. I think both these guys are going to go for it, but both of them are durable enough that we're going to see this thing hit the scorecards. So even though it's chalky, over 4.5, I hate that kind of a number, but I'll tell you guys, I think this fight goes the distance to a decision. That is the total takedown. Sorry for the quick wrap up this week, you guys. The week got away from me. It's been a little bit crazy. We'll see you tomorrow for the undefeated post weigh-in show. Good luck. Let's make some cash. Let's roll. Catch you guys soon.